It's time once again for another episode of Kids Business Radio. Broadcasting live from the Pro Business Channel studio in Atlanta. And now here's your host, dirk-ebener.
I have to admit that I love that jingle.
It's a good one, right? Yeah.
Really good. It's good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day in Atlanta. It's February, and it is the last Saturday of the month, and that is Kids Business Radio time. So welcome to this edition of Kids Business Radio, and we have some really, really awesome guests here today. We have a lot of things to talk about. Not only do we have great guests who talk about their accomplishments in entrepreneurship and how they got into all of this and what they have done over the years to help others in entrepreneurship. We also have an awesome list of questions that we received from various places and various kids and various entrepreneurs on various age levels. So that's awesome as well. And I want to do and start with a shout out to the teachers that are out there that are constantly helping our students to excel and become entrepreneurs, and they're dedicating their time to work and make their students better. So a big shout out to everybody out there. Also want to thank everybody who has helped us over the last year to kick Kids-Business-Expo and Kids Business Radio out there on the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, you name it, we're out there. And just a quick announcement to make sure that everybody has it on the calendar. On October the 8th, 2016, Kids Business Expo 2.0 is launching in Atlanta. Of course, again, we will be at the Galleria. So you can go on the website, kids-business-expo.com, and reserve your ticket. Get involved, become an exhibitor, become a sponsor. So there's a lot of things you can do. We are working on a little bit of a different concept for this year, but it's going to be really, really cool, and we are working really hard to get a lot of people in. So one quick mentioning here, if you are interested in educating youth, if you have a company that is doing a lot of really good stuff out there and you want to bring in and participate in educating youth and youth entrepreneurs, contact us, please. And we will make sure you get on the roster for an awesome educational session or workshop, and make sure that you have the time to present your knowledge and your business. So jumping right in, we will start with our guests here today. And my first guest sitting right to my right here is Kurinn. Kurinn, welcome to the Kids Business Radio show. You have been here many, many times. So tell me really quickly about your business and let the listeners know what you are doing.
Thank you so much, Dirk. I am a certified life coach. I have a business coaching company co-founded with Dr. Rhonda, who's also here. It's called iInspireEntrepreneurs, and we work with entrepreneurs from the beginning of an idea to launching their business. I'm also a certified life coach. I said that. My company is called KWright Coaching. I specialize in author coaching and life coaching, as well as business coaching. And one of the things that I'm passionate about is people shining in their lane.
I love that. We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago at another radio station, and that was, remember that? Yeah, that was really cool. So our next guest, who is really, really involved in entrepreneurship together with Kurinn, is Dr. Rhonda Anderson.
Hello, everybody out there in Radio Land. This is Dr. Rhonda Anderson, certified life coach, author, speaker. You name it, we can do it. Somebody told me you do the most, but we can do it. Kurinn, Coach Wright has already introduced you guys to IInspireEntrepreneurs. I am also the owner of a Scholar's Touch, and that's where I focus on education coaching and general life coaching as well.
And you have been on our radio show a couple of times, and it's always good to have both of you back because I know that you You know, your company name already says I Inspire. And I know that you guys are inspiring the youth. You're inspiring so many people on a daily basis. So it's always great to have you on and the flow of energy and all the things that you bring to the table.
Oh, thank you,
And
Dirk.
then I have a very, very special guest here today, Alexia Minter. Alexia is... you know, she connected with us over our website, and I really want to start welcoming you here. Yeah, it's beautiful and wonderful to have youth entrepreneurs sitting here in the studio and really making our show what it is. It's kids, it's youth, it's all about sharing. And when I have guests like yourself here who have their family in the studio as well, which is great to see the support that they get, to have you here today is special because what you can bring to the table is your experience and why you're doing what you're doing. So let me read off real quick what you shared with us because I want to put that out there, and then I want to start asking you a couple of questions because I know you have a lot of information you want to share. And I love, by the way, that apron that you have on. It's really awesome. It brings it right home. So cool stuff. So Alexia Minter is the founder of Miniature Chefs. She has always loved to cook. After taking several cooking classes, Alexia realized that she would really enjoy teaching others to cook as well. With Hope Business in a Box Academies, Alexia learned how to structure her passion for cooking into a viable business. Miniature Chefs goes beyond frosting cupcakes and spreading pepperoni on pizza dough. The cooking parties incorporate kitchen safety, table etiquette, and even basic pastry decorating. Through her love for cooking, Alexia plans to inspire future chefs for generations to come. And that is such a great thing because Kaylin, our daughter, who is 13, we watched what's the name of it? The baking show for kids. I don't know if you have watched that before. So that's really something that we watch, and I know that you have a lot of things. So what was the first dish that you ever cooked or baked?
My first dish, I started baking cookies.
You made cookies? Cool. And was it a homemade recipe, or was it something that you just inspired yourself, or how did you get into that?
Well, when I was little, I always used to watch cooking shows, and I just wanted to recreate what they cooked.
That's what I have tried. I'm failing, I'll admit. My cooking is okay. I'm probably more the German chef than anything else out there. But what always amazed me is when I see, young entrepreneurs at your age to come in and to have that inspiration going on and trying to help others. I think that's something that you can share here with us today is really what drives you? What is creating that interest?
Well, cooking is a life lesson. You need to learn how to cook. And I feel like every kid should learn how to cook because some adults, they don't know how to cook. So they'll eat out, and it has to be healthy. So you have to be healthy and learn how to cook.
So do you have, that's right on the spot because I see a lot of people going out, and often what I see is they go to the same restaurants every day. So to say what you just mentioned to the audience is really is right on target, right? Because we need to have healthy food. So what is your favorite baking or what is your favorite dish?
My favorite dish that I learned how to cook is Napoleon spaghetti. It's a vegetarian spaghetti, so it's made with tomatoes, garlic, and the sauce is made of tomato sauce.
Wow.
And there's no meat in it.
So that's even better because no meat in the meal often is the health side right then and there. So when I look at what you want to do, you want to inspire kids about, cooking and your business, what is the first thing that you would tell someone who really wants to do what you're doing today?
So the best advice that I was giving is to do what you enjoy to do. So if you love to cook, then you should start learning how to.
Okay, and how is that? How can kids learn that? How can they get involved in it? How can they go in and sort of understand what it takes to become a chef?
So first, they can start by taking cooking classes.
Okay, and then you are teaching these cooking classes?
Yes.
That's really neat. And when they get into your program, are you also, you said etiquette. Why is the etiquette so important for your customers, per se?
I feel like kids should learn how to sit at the table, which one is which fork to use, like a soup fork, a soup bowl, and just being polite at the table.
Is that something that you see often is not happening? You do? Okay. Now, I agree with you because for us, at my table, it always has been when I was brought up, it was always important that we sit down for a meal together. And I see that is not often happening. Do you think that's etiquette as well, that you learn even at your house how to eat correctly?
Yes, that's etiquette.
Yeah, I think so too. So if you are going in and you have these kids coming to your classes, are these classes that everybody can sign up? Is that something they can go to your website and just sign up for?
Well, right now I'm working on my website, but they can visit my Facebook page at Miniature Chef Cooking. And
what will they find on that on that Facebook site?
They'll find anything that I have baked, any upcoming radio shows, and they can contact me if they want a cooking class.
So we have competition here with the radio shows, right? Well, that's good. So when you started this, how old were you when you started that?
I started this in 8th grade. I'm in 9th grade now.
Okay, so you're really in the midst of it. I mean, you're really in the middle of learning about business, running a business and stuff like that. What is your favorite thing about teaching these classes?
My favorite thing about teaching the class is it's really fun to help kids because I just want to help them.
Okay, and our daughter, who is in 8th grade right now, she's moving into 9th grade after the summer. For her, it was always very important to understand what to do with the spices. She loves to cook. She loves to bake. As a matter of fact, she made a really good banana nut bread last night. Ooh. So compliments out to Kaylin if you're listening in. Great banana nut bread. It was really good. And it was fluffy and it was great stuff. But what she has done is she has sort of learn to use a couple of different ingredients and sort of adjust them a little bit. Is that something that you think is helping kids, that they don't have to necessarily go down the list and say, 4 eggs, 2 cups of milk, 5 whatever put in?
It's important to go by the instructions, but once you get an expert like Paula Dean, all you have to do, you can measure with your eyes. I
agree with you because what I do, I just take a tablespoon and throw them in, not the tablespoon, but the sugar on it. And so what's your favorite cooking show? Because I know there's a big competition out there right now about cooking shows.
Okay. I have 2 favorites.
Go for it. Tell us.
So my first favorite is Cutthroat Kitchen, is where they have to make something, but there's catches to it. Mm-hmm. So it's going to make it harder for them to cook it, but it also helps them to know, because what if something goes wrong? You'll have something else to do, and it'll still come out great. And then I like Master Chef because my favorite chef is Gordon Ramsay.
He is? Mm-hmm. Well, I can tell you, I was in Las Vegas not too long ago, and I was at Gordon's restaurant at one of the hotels, and it's phenomenal. I mean, the food is just out of the world, and our family loves to watch these shows as well. As a matter of fact, the reason why Kids-Business-Expo started was really because Kaylin had the idea and the vision to say, why don't you start an event that is helping kids to become entrepreneurs? And that's how the whole thing started. So, you are one of the entrepreneurs out there that are really our group that we want to bring in. So I would really love to have you at the Kids Business Expo and sort of, show others your success. Because I see that all the time out there, that kids are shying away. A couple of months ago, we had young ladies here on the radio show who are from Colombia, from the country Colombia, and they had actually started their first business when they were 6, 7, and 8 years old. And of all things, it was chocolate. So it always seems to be often the food that inspires kids to become entrepreneurs. And we watched this show that was on. It was about the baking competition. And it amazed me to see what kids at your age level can do. Unfortunately, we don't have a video here right now, but I would encourage you to send us some photos so that we can put them out on our information and, encourage people to look at your website, because it's all about networking, isn't it, Rhonda?
That's right.
It's all about learning how to promote your business. So, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for sharing your, story, and hopefully we will stay in close touch, because I definitely want to taste your cooking. So let's go to Dr. Rhonda Anderson here on the microphone.
All right.
And again, I want to encourage everybody to sort of get into the conversation. So, Alexia, if you have a question or you want to comment on anything, or Kurinn, if you do, just jump in. Let's have this a very open microphone discussion. And at the end, probably in about 20 or so minutes, we'll go into some questions that came in through the social media platforms, which are really cool.
All right.
Rhonda, go for it.
All right. Well, what do you want me to go for? What do you want me to go for?
Well, let's start. Let's start with what drove you to start a business? I mean, we're always talking about your current status, but we're never really going into your experience when you started out. So share that with us.
Well, I think I've always been a budding entrepreneur. I've always had the spirit. For a very long time, but I went back into the working world, and I was, getting my education, and, back in 2012, I finished my PhD, and I was at a job, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think that there's something going on here, because I know that I can't move up. I have no options here, and I just feel like I'm going to have to leave. And as the time went on, so in September now, finished my degree in August, and it was just in my spirit to leave. And I had already said, okay, my time is going to be December. I'm going to leave my job in December. And man, November came around of 2012, and we all had to go into this big student center, and everybody came in, and they were doing layoffs. So they said, if you go back to your desk and you see an email, you've been laid off.
Ooh,
so what happens to me? I go back to my desk, and wow, there's the email that I've been laid off. And so I just chuckled, because I believe in Christ, and I felt like that was Him keeping me there, and so that I can be paid to leave. So I got paid to leave. and I was okay with that, because God knows that I'm the type of child who would go and just be reckless. I probably would have left before having the option to be paid to leave. So he was like, this girl is crazy. Let me put in her spirit December. So I tried applying to jobs, and just nothing was happening for me. And I was like, you know what? I can be working on myself. I can work on something else. So starting a business was the next best thing to do. And that's when A Scholar's Touch was birthed back in 2012. Basically, I've been doing coaching for years and years and years, in the position that I was in, coaching college students. I was in higher education. And so it was only right that I do life coaching for doctoral students and undergraduates and, high school students as well. And that's where it was born.
It seems to me that a lot of the entrepreneurship right now is coming at that point, right? People are sort of like halfway through their life career, and they're at that point where they say, I wish I had done this when I was at Alexia's age, right?
That's
when
right.
I started,
Yes.
and everybody says, when I'm talking to entrepreneurs, I'm saying, what stops you from doing it?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of reasons for this. Everybody has that. But a lot of the entrepreneurs today that are really focused, they're bringing 10, 15, 20 years of business experience, right? And all of a sudden, they know already where to go and start the company and do budgets and things like that. But what I really enjoy doing and seeing is that you are always reaching out and giving back into the youth entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And that's something that I think is makes you stand out so much out there. Why I love to have you on these radio shows, because you always bring that entrepreneur touch, and you bring these very viable stories with you.
And for me, I would not want any youth, to sit back on their dreams, because I was one of those people who did that. I started later, and I was like, man, I could be, so you probably wouldn't even see me right now, Dirk. I'd be in Costa Rica with a margarita, whatever, on the beach, letting my business work for myself, But, I just tell people all the time to embrace what you have, like right now. You have what it takes. If you even have a little interest in entrepreneurship, you should really explore it, right where you are, no matter how old you are.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things, when I see that there's family here in the studio with Alexia who is here to support her, and it's not that, yes, they're giving her the ride over to the studio, but they're sitting here in the studio. They are, all engaged. They watch and they get involved and engage. And I think that's what Alexia really needs. And that's what takes her to the next level in her career, is the fact that there is somebody there that can help her to go to the next level. And then when you combine that with the fact that there are business leaders like you and Kurinn out there that are helping students to live their dream, right?
Right, that's right.
To be inspired.
Right. And we tell our youth all the time, like, use it. Your parents, they're your biggest cheerleader. You have no bills, right? Do it before life kicks in, you know? Oh, do it before life kicks in. And, you know, right now they're your biggest cheerleader. They're going to fund you. They're going to do all they need to do to help you get to where you want to be. So use that.
Yes, that's absolutely right.
Benefit.
And I think that's what happens when entrepreneurs are out there, and you will see that question reflected in a couple of minutes. You know, we see that there is a need in our society today for youth to learn that there's more than college. There's opportunities out there.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go through college, but you can also start learning, like Alexia does, early on.
That's right.
What it takes to have a business, right, Alexia? It's important to have that and to have support from your family and friends and everybody out there in the community is extremely valuable.
Yes.
I mean, that's halfway through the success, right?
Oh, yeah. And it's just an extra option, you know.
Right,
You're not
exactly.
tied to corporate America, you know. You have options.
And you're building an option in case of something like what you experience is coming your way, right?
Exactly.
You know, the old days when you get this pink slip in your box, you know, that's gone. Now you get an email or a text. Don't show up in the morning, you know. Sorry, door's locked. Don't come back.
That's right. And that's the scary part. You know,
Yeah.
our children will never experience what we have experienced with there being dependability on jobs being out there. It's harder right now for our students to find jobs. So you'd have to have a plan B.
Now,
you know?
you, as I recall it, you two were at Spelman this week, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
With the Spelman ladies.
Share that with us, please.
Oh, it was an awesome experience. There's an organization called the American Business Women's Association.
Okay.
And they had career speed dating.
How?
For the Spelman students.
Wow.
And myself and Coach Wright, we were a part of a group. They had 4 groups that kind of rotated around. And so we got to speak to those young ladies about entrepreneurship, about their lives, like what are you planning to do? And it's so funny that some of them, they didn't have a plan. And I'm like, they were juniors, some of them were seniors. And we were just explaining to them that it's best to work on it, you know, work on a plan because after this, there's life.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you bring that up because I was at an event this week at McEachern High School over in Cobb County. And Joshua Ford, one of the administrators there, they have for the second year now a career fair. And what we have started this year was to teach the students pretty much, you know, 11th, 12th grade students how to write a resume, how to interview effectively, and how to network effectively. And they are hopefully moving into college
Right.
with that experience that these ladies from Spelman are seeking through you guys as well. So if we prepare them at any given time, at any age for these steps to find a career and how to be successful in resume writing and interviewing, I mean, what you're doing is awesome because it really brings that knowledge to them.
And I think that, you know, the earlier we get our hands on our students, like high school is where it's at because some of these students, they go to college, but they come right back home. There's a huge percentage of students who go to college the first year. They're back home with none of the skills that your students have been blessed to have. So it's a struggle for them. But I think that with you preparing them now before they graduate, that is super awesome because it gives them another option. Because people don't understand, like if your child isn't ready for college, it's okay. Allow them to go into the career field. And they need what you gave them. They need resume. They need interview skills. They need to learn how to network to get those positions.
But the beauty is, the awesome thing is, you know, if I'm looking and we have this wonderful Facebook page of miniature chefs up there right now, when I look at individuals like Alexia, who has learned that early on, who is, you know, I mean, look at the web. I mean, Facebook is beautiful, you know.
Is.
She stands there right there. She is showing us. Now we lost it, but I'm sure. Yeah, there you go. She's going all over Facebook right now. Now, the impact that she can make, Alexia, the impact that you can make on other students out there is immense because they can listen to you. And, you know, we as adults can tell them a million times what to do. When you stand there and tell them how to do the pancake or how to do the cupcake correct, that has a complete different you know, impact on them. So I want to talk to you in a couple of minutes about that again because I really like your story. I really like what you bring to the table. So Dr. Rhonda, how does someone reach out to you if they want you to come to an event like the Spelman, or if they want to, get coaching? How can they get a hold of you?
They can get a hold of me by Googling A Scholar's Touch, or they can Google Dr. Rhonda. I'm out there. I'm on every social media platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I have a website, www.ascholarsTouch.com. And so you can reach me. I'm Facebook friendly, Dr. Rhonda Davis Anderson. I have a Scholar's Touch on Facebook as well.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So let's move to Kurinn. Kurinn Wright is with us today.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, there she is. So tell us, I know about it, but tell the listener about what you do and how you inspire. Besides going to Spelman and talk to the Spelman ladies, there's much more you do. I know that for a fact. So go for it.
Okay, well, my approach is very different. I'm a life coach who really does focus on helping people to grow from the inside. So if you're someone that's trying to go into any field, whether it's entrepreneurship as a youth or whether it's a 9-to-5, corporate America, wherever, when you want to excel into a different place in life, no matter where it is, you have to start with that inside. Who are you? Do you know who you are? Where do you want to go? Why do you want to be there? That foundation is just as important as building a business. Stop looking at my nails, Dirk. And I always say, I'll ask a question, and I'll ask it to you people in here, and I want to see a list of hands. Who in this room is a CEO?
There you go. I love that when the hands
There were
fly.
some hands that did not go up, but everyone's hands should go up because we're all the CEO over our life first.
Right.
And how you run your life is essentially how you run your business. Who you are at work is really who you are at home. You can't go to work and say, I'm mean at work, but I'm nice at home. Who you are is who you are, because your audience is everyone that encounters you, and you have to figure out who you want to represent when you're in front of these people, and not fake it till you make it, but really work on building that foundation. When that foundation is solid, then when you're working on your business, you have to, of course, have a business plan. You can't do anything without a plan. So that business plan and the person of who you are as a foundation, that's what takes you to higher heights. And there's really not a difference between a person who wants to be somewhere and a person who's already there. The only difference is knowledge. You have to know who you are, know what you want to do, have a plan to get there. So, yes, I'm writing a book. I've written it. I just need to publish it. It's called Shine in Your Lane. And Dirk was on one of my calls. I went into some of the acronyms. It's a 15-letter acronym, and it really focuses on confidence. It focuses on, knowing yourself. It focuses on using your gifts. And one of the things I'm so proud of you for, Miss Miniature Chef, is the fact that you have a gift and you have a support system that's behind you to help you launch that gift. Your parents are not trying to live through you in this setting. They're really trying to get you to the place where you can live. And essentially, when they become elderly people, I hope that you do take care of them because they took care of you. And that's the way it's really supposed to work, is that we're all here for each other. So, if I don't use my gift, I'm hindering something in you, and I don't even know you. But there's something you will never be able to do if we've encountered each other and I'm not using my gift, because mine may activate something in yours. So that's essentially the core of my coaching practice.
And it's amazing to see how you reach out to them, because, you and Dr. Rhonda both have all that energy that you're bringing out. And I think that's important, because when you go into a class or a course and you get the dry stuff that entrepreneurship often brings, the budget, the media plan, the marketing plan, and the excitement is not there, then, people shut down. But if they have that type of, entrepreneur spirit coming at them from someone who's teaching it, that's what this is all about. That's why I'm always so impressed with our business community when they go into the classroom, when they go into the schools, when they use their time and talent to help youth entrepreneurship. And I know that Alexia had mentors along the way. I'm certain she did have. And I know that I'm looking to the left of the room, and I have a gut feeling there's the mentor. So, shout out to you as a mentor to help her to get to where she is today and build her as a person, because often what happens is that our brilliant minds out there, the kids that do not have that support system, they are not getting to where they need to be.
Exactly.
And so if we go out there and help, and if we have mentors who are really asking, and it's beautiful that we're talking about mentorship, because there is a question coming up about that. So I think, it's important that business leaders like you and Dr. Rhonda are really spending their time and help others to get to where they want to be through coaching, through that. So I know I know you have published. Both of you have published
yes,
a book.
Have.
Yes,
the Quick and Dirty Guide to Entrepreneurship.
On Amazon.com.
Yes. And
There you go. And what
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go
Dirk.
f- no, go
well, no,
for
the
it. No,
purpose
no,
of
you're
this
the
book
guest.
really is to, I run the show today. I'm
I
just
know
kidding.
you are.
No, thank you. But we actually teach courses. There are 8-week courses called Operation Startup Nation, and we have a youth platform for the courses as well as an adult platform, and it's very similar, so we don't want you to miss anything. And the book is a condensed version of the courses, so you get the networking, strategic planning, business, social media, but you don't get it as a 1, 2, 3, do this, do that. It's more of a conversation that explains it to you as if we were in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's an easy read. We've had a student out of Alabama A&M, I'm sorry. His mother heard us speak. She hunted us down, bought the book, sent it to him. He and 3 of his friends read the book twice.
Yeah.
He wants us to mentor him and lead a entrepreneurship boot camp that he's doing this summer in Alabama. So that is it. What it really is about is it's spreading the news of what you can do. He said that book helped him complete his the business that he was setting up to launch this thing for his school. So it's not just something to sell. It's an actual product that can help entrepreneurs no matter what stage they're in. If you're budding, if you're existing and you struggle in areas, you read it and you get that aha.
Yeah.
So
And one of the things that I loved about it when I just looked at it, and I will spend a lot of time this week to go into it and read it and go through it, but 5 words are popping up that are on the cover that are the somewhat most essential words of a business. And I'm sure there's a reason for you putting it out there, right?
Yeah.
So strategic planning, networking, business plan, marketing, and social media. And all these 5 things are so critical, specifically when you have younger entrepreneurs like Alexia who comes in. I mean, she's already on social media. I'm looking at her right now on Facebook and like, ooh, here we go. All right. So when you have these type of opportunities to read that, I would encourage everybody to really go on and find that book and download it and read it and make it, your daily book of entrepreneurship and help. And there's a lot of stuff going on out there. There's TV shows, The Profit, Marcus Lemonis, The Shark Tank, Undercover Boss, all the cooking shows that are happening. Gordon Ramsay is out there, all over the place. We watch him all the time. But what these individuals do, and they do it either directly and openly or indirectly, hoping that they will reach us as entrepreneurs. But I know that they help us to inspire the youth and inspire the future entrepreneurships.
Yes.
And I'm sure that, Alexia mentioned Paula Dean. I mean, have you been to her restaurant yet? You have? Oh, my goodness. One of the things that I need to do. I bet it is.
That's good.
So, shout out to all of them who have these TV shows going on, because these are really the foundations that start businesses all the time. Alexia is a top person for that. She watched it. She loves cooking. She loves baking. And all of a sudden, she's out there. She's helping others through her talents.
That's right. And that book, it provides a solid business foundation. It's a quick read. It's strategies that an entrepreneur can implement today. There's nothing extra that you have to research unless you just want to. So that's what I love. It as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's what we need to have, and I know that both of you will be at the Career Fair for McEachern coming up on March the 10th. That's awesome. And I know Joshua Ford is looking forward to having you there. So thank you for giving us your time on that as well. So let me jump in real quick, because I think that the questions that we will discuss that were posted and passed on to us will help us to go, and move forward. So I got an email from Justin, who is over in Seattle, which shows me how far, we are reaching today.
Wow, Dirk.
And he says, hello, I'm 12 years old, so not much younger than Alexia, and I would love to start my own business. I have great ideas, but how much money do I need? Help us out here.
Okay, so billions of kids, they want to start a business, but they don't know how to. And first start, you have to have a mentor. If I didn't have a mentor, I'll still have an idea, but it wouldn't be launched. So first, you should tell somebody about your idea and get a mentor and help and let them help you launch your business and give you the steps to being a business owner.
Super. And then how much money do you think you would need to start a business? Let's say like what you're doing. I mean, you go probably, I don't know if you start all your cupcakes and everything from scratch, but I'm more like go to the box, get the box, and move on in life type of person. That's my cooking. So,
that's right.
So how much money do you need in order to launch a business? What do you think? What would be a recommendation? What do you think? About $10 or $20? Or, I mean, you probably invested in some cooking utensils. Mm-hmm. You probably invested in some baking items. I know there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but do you think about $100 is sufficient on it?
I think it depends on what type of business.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, looking at Rhonda and Kurinn, what do you think? What
honestly, you can bootstrap it if you're grassroots from the ground and just use what you have. And that's my thing. Use what you have. Don't go out here getting all these bank loans and trying to apply for loans of credit.
That's right, because you got to pay it back right away.
Right, you have to pay that money back. But you need to start where you are. And if you have a plan, you can. It doesn't matter how much money you have, because that plan and that money can be used simultaneously to get you where you need to go. But I would say if someone just had to have a number, it does depend on what kind of business it is. Is it a service or a product?
Yeah.
Products will cost more money to start up than a service would. Service you can work virtually from home or anywhere, but if you have a product, you have to invest in the product and get prototypes potentially. So it depends if it's home-based or if it's a product,
So when we give a feedback to Justin, and I'm sure he's listening because he had a lot of different comments when he sent that email over to me. So Justin, I think what you really need to do is you need to sit down and come up with that business plan.
Exactly.
Make sure that we all understand, or that your sponsor, your mentor, gives you the feedback and the insight that we need. And it depends really on what you want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. It's sort of I don't know. I don't even want to put a number on it. I think it really depends on what you want to do.
It depends on what you want to do.
If you're a lawn business, you need a lawnmower and all this stuff. But you might want to go, yard shopping and find out if somebody has a used one out there that you can fix.
Right. Or if you're writing content for someone, it's free.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So that was a great question. And the next one came from Charlotte. She is out in Kentucky in Bowling Green. And she's right in that age group that Alexia is in, 14.
Wow.
And, when I see these ages popping up here on the screen when somebody's asking these type of questions, she said, funny enough, I have a cookie business, and I want to grow that. And what do I do next? So what can we tell her what her next steps are? From my point of view, it's really just sort of like spending the summer and going probably to some of the smaller restaurants and see if you can push it in there. That would be one way to do it, right?
Yep, that's a good idea. And I would love to see what has she already done, because she could be doing some things that may need to be just enhanced. Utilizing social media, that's a big thing, for cookie business, because you can ship cookies to people, Hey, there's a way to make it happen, So I would love to see what has she already done, and then we go from there. But I love the fact that she can shop those cookies to different stores, restaurants. She can take it to, she can do a mall kiosk if she wanted to. She can go to flea markets, sell her cookies there. That's an awesome idea. That's a cheap way.
That's a good way.
A table at a flea market is usually $25, $30.
Right.
So
that's a good idea.
You show up there every Saturday and Sunday, you're going to make some money.
Yes, you can. And, it's also about preparation and presentation.
That's right.
I'm very low budget when I do my marketing. I go through a company called Vistaprint. So, letting everybody out there know if you're looking for some business cards and, you want to spread the message about your business.
Yep.
Make sure that you're not only using the front of the business card. Use the back of the business card as well, because it's like a few extra dollars for $500, and it will definitely carry your message out there. But more importantly, you can do a lot of things for under $100.
Yep.
I do my posters and banners are all coming through Vistaprint because they are inexpensive and they're good quality. And I think
good quality.
That's one of those things. That's the tip that we sometimes have to give someone just to jump on. And I saw some people saying yes, nodding their heads back there. So Vistaprint definitely is the platform right now for an entrepreneurship out there. So go out there, find out. Now, how can she find her competition? Because that was part 2 of the question. How can I find out about my competition?
Google is your friend.
Okay, yeah.
Google is your friend. And
YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of companies out there that are on social media already. I mean, she can start with a local search with where she is now to see what pops up. But then she can also go and look at what people are doing globally, because we're global from day one. Once you hit the social media platform button, you're global. So you have
absolutely.
other opportunities. So definitely Google, YouTube, searching for competitors.
Now, Alexia, your website, but your Facebook is really impressive. And, you see you standing in front of or next to some of your products. Do you spend a lot of time on Facebook putting information out there about your cooking classes? That's something that you would recommend to a future entrepreneur?
Yes, you should make sure your Facebook is updated, but also don't overwhelm your Facebook with the same thing. You want to put something different on there every day.
I think that's great stuff.
That's
Do you
great.
also put recipes up that I can try?
I don't put recipes up there. It'll probably be on my my upcoming website that I'm working on right now.
Okay.
But you could just see the recipes that I have made.
That's awesome. Yeah, because, again, when someone sees you as the coach, the teacher of cooking out there, and they can come to your Facebook website, I mean, that's awesome. That's powerful, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's very impressive. So, again, congratulations to being so active out there. It's really, really great. Now, the other thing that I had here was Sandy from Orlando. She's 16, and she says that she would really like to find a mentor that can help her with her business. And, of course, the question is, how can I find one? So any comments on that? I know you both are very, very involved in mentorship as well. You had a class actually at Kids-Business-Expo, which was...
Standing
packed.
room only.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to really say, but you're absolutely right. It was standing
With both
room only.
parents and kids.
Yeah, parents
Exactly.
and kids. We were like, what?
Yeah.
Parents?
That was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So my question here on behalf of Sandy is, how can she find a mentor that can help her with the business?
She needs to first figure out what business she wants to do, and then look for the person who's in a position that she wants to be in with that. So, say, for example, did Sandy say what type of business she had?
No, she did not.
Okay, let's say, Sandy, you want to go into coaching.
Right.
Okay, great. So you want to go and do a Google search or YouTube, and I say YouTube because that's when you can see the live pieces. You see what they sound like, how they act, and is this someone that you would want to model after? And then you determine if it is, and if it's someone that you want to be like or become in the same realm, then contact them, reach out to them, and ask if they will mentor you.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, a mentorship is very, it's not a play date, and I say that for adults. I do, not for kids. Kids, I think, take it more seriously because they're hungrier. But for adults, when you get mentoring from someone, you have to treat it as if it's something that has a dollar amount of value with it. You can't just not show up or not do what they're asking or not be responsible, because at the end of the day, that mentorship is really free training.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
free information that some people out there have to pay for. They have no choice but to pay for it.
Yeah.
So this person is trying to prime you to be better than where you are and get you from where you are to where you want to be. So just look at examples of, what it is that you want to do, who's doing it in your version of the best, and then, reach out to them and be committed.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of these groups out there as well. Future Business Leaders of America,
yeah. Junior Achievement.
Junior Achievement. There's
You
a
can
lot
go
of
to the
these
Chamber
groups.
of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
SCORE
It's a
is
good
one
spot.
part
SCORE.
of it. And so, but what I have seen, and that's one thing that I really like seeing, is that today it is perfectly okay for someone like Sandy or Alexia at their age to reach out to mentor and say, I really want to have a mentorship because I really want to push. And 10 years or 15 years ago, they would probably look at them and say, really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. But today, they see how powerful their time can be with these future entrepreneurs.
I tell you, Dirk, it's all about exposure. That's my thing. I'm like, exposure. You just never know what you're going to awaken in anyone, an adult or a child.
Right.
And I mean, if you did that for that person and they end up blowing up one day, it's just so great that they'll go back and say, it was because of Coach Wright.
Exactly.
I'm here where I want to be.
And you know, I mean, Kids Business Expo we saw that,
yes,
right? We
yes,
saw that
yes.
happening all the time where we had individuals very young.
Yes.
And that's why we are going at Kids Business Expo at the age group 8 to 18. We really want to learn how we can help someone who is 8 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I mean, they have, I always say, you know.
Some smart people.
Kids. It comes from kids. And we as adults,
exactly.
we have to be open to mentoring them.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So now, if you are a mentor or you want to become a mentor, what would you tell someone who wants to mentor Alexia or someone else? What should they do in order to connect? How would you like to have someone to connect with you? I mean, you already have a mentor. I know that. But if someone else out there is looking for some, what would you recommend, Alexia, that kid or youth entrepreneur does in order to reach that person?
Again, if you have a business,
Right.
make sure it's connecting with the person that you want to mentor you.
Yeah.
Because Miss Latoya, she's in business, so she knows what business is. If I went to her and she doesn't know anything about business, she wouldn't be able to help me.
Right.
And you need somebody who will be able to help you in the career field that you want to be in.
Right. And so you think that it's, you know, if you find a mentor, you really can connect and they can help you to push you to the next level, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so too. And I've seen that because I've seen that kids learn a lot from mentors all the time. You know, they're out there and they really want to do that and they want to spend their time and they want to, you know, they're willing to spend the extra hour a day on becoming better and learning more. Now, Paul from Atlanta, he reached out to me because he had heard about the career fair at McEachern. And he said, what do I have to do in order to develop a business pitch? And that was the elevator door literally opened up in front of me. And I was like, all right, Paul, thank you for putting that question out there because that's one of those things. I know that the mentors are helping their students to get that. But if you now, within about 3 to 4 minutes, what can we tell our listeners about a business pitch? And it doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80. Brilliance doesn't come with an H sticker is what I always say. You know, you can be 8 or 80 and you can be brilliant and you can be really out there. So, Kurinn, what would you tell someone what has to be included in the business pitch?
Well, first, you have to know your business.
Right.
You have to know it from what you're selling, what you're doing, how much does it cost. And if you have 15 seconds in an elevator, what needs to be included in that pitch is your beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
Let's just say I'm a miniature chef. I know nothing about your company outside of what you shared with us today. But if I were you in that elevator and I'm pitching my business to dirk-ebener, who has access to all kinds of things, I would say, hi, Dirk, my name is Alexia. My company is Miniature Chef. I cook this, this, and this. Tell them the benefits. What is the benefit of what you do versus someone else? Is it gluten-free? Have something that meets the need. So if there's a problem out there, does your product solve that problem?
Yeah.
So you have to sell him on that piece first. So what is it that sets you apart from whoever else is doing this? Because we mentioned all these other cooking shows. Who are you? What are you doing? Why is it important to me? And then close with the puppy eyes. I'm kidding, but no, seriously, you want to if you don't have a business plan written down, have it in your head. Yeah. What is your plan? Where are you trying to take this? Because how does he play a role in what you're trying to pitch to him?
And that's one thing that we learned this week at McEachern, you know, that we learned that kids are really, really into these pitches. I mean, we had over 110 students sitting there learning about networking and pitch and how to do that. And it was awesome to see how they evolve from the beginning to the end.
Wow.
So what you said was really the principle, the core principles of what we gave them.
I watch a lot of Shark Tank, Dirk.
Oh, you do? Okay. We do too.
Yeah.
We do too. And we record. I mean, we watch them over and over again.
It's important.
And I'm
It's
sure
very
that
important.
I'm sure that Alexia sits there sometimes watching these cooking shows, says, "Why did you put the eggs in now?" You know.
Yes. Should have stirred it first.
that was not the right butter or whatever she tells everybody.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I love when we have these youth entrepreneurs in the studio, when we have them around us is that solid feedback they can give someone because they have done it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm the type of guy, I throw all my ingredients in one box. I'm not, working through the flour, and I'm not, having the milk at the right temperature. I just put it all in and hope for the best. But I'm sure Alexia has a lot of things where she always says, why are you doing this, Dirk? So for her to share her experience with someone of her age or even younger, when you inspire younger individuals, that's what we all need.
That's what it is all
about.
And,
my story always, or what I'm always trying to tell kids is you need to be out there. You need to talk about yourself and talking about yourself. Before we close this thing down in a couple of minutes, I want to talk about how can someone reach you? If they really want to get a hold of you, Kurinn or Dr. Rhonda, how can they do that?
Well, they can visit, if it's anything dealing with business coaching, all of that comes out of IInspireEntrepreneurs, and that's INSPIREEntrepreneurs.net on the website. And we have a box there where you can just put in your question, or if you need anything, you can put your questions in there. It goes right to our email. You can also do social media.
And also on the website, please download the free 6-month, request the 6-month launch plan. That's a 6-month guide to what you need to do to launch your business.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen in 6 months. It could happen in 6 days if you're really quick, or 6 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's on the first page.
Yeah.
Just submit your email address and we will send that to you.
Yep. And all of our social media handles are on the bottom of that, on the bottom of the page as well. So you can connect with us that way. And as far as me dealing with the Scholar's Touch, I am at www.ascholarsTouch.com. And on social media, I am Dr. Rhonda or A Scholar's Touch, and it should come up.
That's really good. Thank you for sharing that, because I think it's important that we have that information out there.
And for me, if you want any type of coaching from Kurinn Wright, it's KWright Coaching, KWright coaching.com, or you could just Google me. You'll find anything under Kurinn Wright, Kurinn Wright.
Now, Alexia, if someone this summer wants to learn about cooking and they want to get into the classroom with you, how can someone get a hold of you?
Okay, so you can like my Facebook page at Miniature Chef Cooking, and you can contact me at mccooking101@gmail.com.
Awesome. So someone comes in and says they want to have a class with you. Are you going into? Are you inviting them to a room or to a classroom? How is your class set up for the summer?
Well, I come to parties.
Cool.
So
Okay.
I'll come to the party and teach the kids.
Excellent. That's really cool. So it's no longer Dora the Explorer or someone else coming to to the birthday party. It's the miniature chef coming to. How great is that? I mean, that's so awesome.
That is.
And then one other thing that I want to encourage everybody out there is, if you are out there and you really want to learn and you want to look at entrepreneurship, take a look at Kids Business Expo this coming October. That event is on a Saturday. It will start around about 10 o'clock and will end at 4. And it will give you all sorts of opportunities to be part of education, to present your product. So if you're a young entrepreneur out there and you want to test your product because you have never really exposed it to a large audience, come to Kids Business Expo. Participate in it. Become an exhibitor. If you are a business owner out there and you want to connect early on, if you have a printing business or a website business or any type of business that you feel can connect and can become a source for future entrepreneurs, you definitely want to be at Kids Business Expo this coming October. We had almost 90 booths at the first event last year in February. We had a lot of great speakers. We had a panel. We had classroom courses. And so there's a lot of things we can teach. And we will teach even more classes this coming October, because I feel that Kids Business Expo can really be a platform. So if you are a teacher out there, if you are a student out there, you want to bring your class to Kids Business Expo, reach out to us and connect with us. We will definitely make sure that there are student prices. There are prices for, classes to come. And I know we had a lot of field trips coming in last time, and we encourage everybody to do the same thing again. So one other thing that I want to encourage everybody is if you really care about our youth, if you really want to make a difference in our communities and in our country and in the countries around the world, reach out and become a mentor and help kids to fulfill their dream of entrepreneurship. It's so important that we all do that. Mm-hmm. And I cannot thank all three of you enough for being here today as my guest. Our guests, all the guests in the studio, thank you for taking the time to bring Alexia here. Thank you for mentoring her, and thank you for giving her an opportunity to really fulfill her dream. And that's what this is all about. That's what Kids Business Radio is all about. We're all about teaching and giving kids and adults an opportunity to share their story, but also to learn. And, we all need to learn, and we never stop learning.
That's right.
So thank you again for being here tonight. Today, not tonight, this afternoon. It's a beautiful day. Well, I'm thinking it's tonight. But anyway, one other thing that I wanted to share with you, and I believe it's very important that we do that, is if you see that there are organizations out there that are looking for opportunities and to connect with you through a church or any type of platform, what you definitely want to do is you definitely want to look into spending some of your time with them and help them to organize classes and help them to organize entrepreneurship courses and things like that. One other shout out I want to do is there is an event coming up on March the 24th. The Georgia Minority Business Awards is coming up. Oh, yeah. And it's at the International Conference Center out at the airport. And what we will do and what the Atlanta Business Journal is doing is they honor businesses in the state of Georgia that have done something very special for our community. And I want to encourage our business community that's listening in to take a look at Georgia Minority Business Awards. It's GAMinorityBusinessAwards.com. It's the 19th annual awards event. And what you will see is you will meet a lot of powerful business owners and people in the community here in the state of Georgia. And I want to do a shout out to this event because I think it's very important that we have these platforms. So, thanks to the Atlanta Business Journal magazine for putting that on and for putting the awards out. And I think it's excellent that they are doing such an event that really, puts our business into the stage light and shows what we can do today. So take a look at that. It's March the 24th at the International Expo over at the airport. Go out there and learn about business and what business leaders all across the state of Georgia are doing to make our state grow and help our businesses to grow. So this is basically it. I want to thank everybody again for being here, and we're through the February edition of Kids Business Radio. If you want to become a guest on the radio show, go to kidsbusinessradio.com and push the guest button. It's on the top right. You can get there and you can connect with us just like Alexia did. And we love that, and we love to have people here. Alexia, I hope I will see you at Kids Business Expo in October. Spread the word. Tell everybody to be there because it's an event out there for you. It's not for us. It's for the kids, for the youth entrepreneurship. So this is it. Thank you for listening in. My name is dirk-ebener. Thank you again to our guests. And this is the February edition of Kids Business Radio.
Thank you again for joining Dirk-Ebener and his guests on the Pro Business Channel. Use the social media links here to share today's show and stay tuned for the next episode of Kids Business Radio.